Hey, happy Monday, everyone. It's March 30th, 2026. I'm Rich Tola, and here's what's cooking for today. Number one, gratitude rules. We're going to be talking about that very powerful word today. Number two, 50 years of change. How have things changed since 1976? Well, I was 13 at the time. And number three, fun facts of the day, right? But first, I like to do the fun facts. First, the ABCs, all body workout, blissful sleep, colorful diet. How'd you do today? Well, for me, it was check, check, check. Ate well, eggs, kale, banana, slept well. Workout was great this morning. Less pain than I usually have. But hey, guys, I want to give a thank you to everyone who wished me a happy birthday yesterday. I turned 63 from 1963. And let me tell you, how did I start my day? Like I do every other day. Woke up, made my coffee, read the news, worked out, got a great workout in yesterday. So what is it all about? We talked about that in the last show. Consistency, regardless of the day. It's just the same old thing. You got to be embracing consistency if you want to be drinking from the fountain of youth. All right, let's jump into this here. I want to give you a quote from who I think is one of the best actors on the planet, Julia Roberts. Everybody knows Julia. She's made over about 70 films, maybe more than 70 films. My two favorite, Pretty Woman from 1990 with Richard Gere. I even used her in one of my books, do a quote. And Erin Brockovich from the year 2000. So those are, I mean, she's made so many, but what do you like with Julia? But I love her. All right, she said this. I like this quote. Your face tells a story, and it shouldn't be a story about your drive to the doctor's office. Meaning, you got to be happy. You got to be smiling. You got to be joyful. You have to be courageous. But most importantly, you have to be grateful in life. I learned that back a long time ago. I was taking a teacher training for yoga, being a yoga teacher in the year 2006. That was awesome. I called it Camp Yoga. If you want to read that, that's in my memoir. Hey, first thing they teach is you have to be grateful. You gotta have gratitude, because gratitude, it's powerful. It's energy that's in your body, that's in your face, that's everywhere. So I read this article. It's in the Epic Times. I read that newspaper. And this guy, Jeff Minnick, I don't know Jeff, but give a shout out to Jeff for this article. It's called 10 Seconds That May Change Your Day and Your Life. That's right. Jeff's an author. He taught for 20 years, homeschool. I like this, history, literature, Latin, pretty cool stuff. But he talked about this famous show when I was 5 years old, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Anybody know Fred Rogers? You could look it up, but that show ran from 1968 when I was 5. I watched that show to 2001. I mean, Mr. Rogers was everybody's friend, but he taught you lessons, man. It was a great show. It's a half-hour children's special, but so Fred made a speech. It was an acceptance speech. And in this speech, it says, let me read you the quote that he said. It's very powerful. He said, would you just take, along with me, 10 seconds to think of the people who have helped you become who you are, those who cared about you and wanted what was best for you in life. 10 seconds of silence. I'll watch the time. And they said they'd camera around the room. People were crying because gratitude's like everything else. You have to make it a daily practice, just like the ABCs. Bring it into your life, all right? There's a report by Harvard. This is pretty cool. Harvard Health Publishing said, intentional gratitude enhances emotional well-being, reduces risk of depression, and even delivers favorable cardiovascular markers. Hey, gratitude is extremely powerful. So take 10 seconds out of your life. Hey, thanks, Jeff, because it's not something I do. I always, when I sit down to eat, it's something I always do. I'm grateful for being able to, provide for myself and have a healthy meal. So I always do that. A lot of people say grace, but make it a gratitude effort on a daily basis. Bring that consistency into your life, and it will change your life. It changed Jeff's life. So, hey, gratitude, it's very, very powerful. Make it happen. All right, here we go. 50 years of change. Another thing I read, it's called, you guys know Pew Research Center for, this is like the data I got, pewresearch.org. Go check it out. But it does this little article about how U.S. society has changed profoundly over the past 50 years. Hey, when I was 13 years old, I mean, I remember my mom, on a Saturday morning, my mom, she would say, because she cleaned every Saturday, old school Sicilian woman. She said, get out. 8 o'clock in the morning, I'd get on my bike and she had come back at dinner time. She gave me $2. Oh, I'll never forget this. I'm 13 years old, my little Stingray. I had a yellow Stingray and a green Stingray. My brother had a yellow one that was stolen. I had the green one. So we ended up sharing a bike. I would go out. I would disappear for the whole day. I'd go to Mercer County College. I'd be playing. I used to break into the theater and go up to the catwalks. It was pretty wild, but times have changed in 50 years, right? Can't let your 13-year-old roam in the streets. But that was the bicentennial. That was a pretty cool time. But let me give you these statistics. Not too heavy, but the population has aged significantly, right? The median age has gone up by 50% across the board. Went from 30 to 45 in our country. How about that? The median age is going up. All right, country is more racially and ethnically diverse. For white Americans, they went from 84% down to 56%, where Hispanics gone up from 4.5 to 20%. Asians gone, about 0.7 to 6%. That's gone up a lot. And blacks have stayed the same, about 11, 12%. How about this? Foreign-born people. The percentage of foreign-born people in the population has tripled. It's gone from 4.7 to 15%. That's a big change. How about this? Americans are less likely to be married. I think everybody knows that. 69% of adults were married 50 years ago. Now it's 50%. Those who are never married, that went from 7 to 10. That's me. I'm in that category. How about this? Women have far greater opportunities. We know that. I mean, hey, it's all over, right? Women rule workplace. So there were 42% of women adults in the workplace. Now there's over 60%. How about this? Earnings. Women were averaging $24,000 in 1976 across the board. Now it's 43,000. So that's gone up. Men, it went from 51 to 57. So not too much of an increase for men. How about this? Number of children for family went from 3.1 to 1.9. So we know that the replacement number is pretty down. And how about this? Percentage of population that lived in the South was 31. Now it's 39. The Northeast and the Midwest have gone down considerably. And how about this? More educated. They said that there's more than a percentage of adults over the age of 25 with a bachelor's degree went from 11 to 37%. So that's right. We're becoming more educated. I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, what are these degrees worth? But we need more blue collar for sure. But anyway, finally, we got the poverty rate, pretty cool, went from 14 to 11, and home ownership stayed about the same, 63 to 65%. So ask yourself, I got to ask you that one question. Are we better off than we were 50 years ago? Hey, what do you think? It was a hell of a lot different than it is today. But world has changed significantly. All right, guys, let's get some fun facts for today. We'll wrap it up. On this day in 1939, what happened? Batman debuted in a DC Comics issue of Detective Comics. Wow, anybody has that first issue, it must be worth a fortune. So let me ask you, who's your favorite Batman? There's been over 10 actors that have played Batman throughout the years. Adam West, going way back. I used to watch him on TV. George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson. I'll tell you, who is one of my favorites was Ben Affleck. Don't ask me why, but I loved him. I mean, Batman versus Superman, Henry Cavill. Love that movie. That's one of my favorites. All right, how about this? On this day in 1959, I wasn't born then, but the Dalai Lama flees China and he's granted political asylum in India. Knew all about that because that was big. He was big, still the Dalai Lama. How about this? In 1981, going back, this is one of my favorite movies. I put this in the top 10, Chariots of Fire. You want to see an A-plus movie. Oh my God, the feeling you get watching that movie. That movie premiered in London. That's right. And it got the best picture in 1982, deservedly so. Same day, 1981, Ronald Reagan got shot. Anybody remember that? He was in front of a Washington, D.C. hotel. Was it John Hinckley Jr., I believe, who shot him, but, shot him in the left lung. Remember that. And finally, let's give some birthday shout outs. First one is, to me, arguably one of the best guitarists. Hey, I went to go buy a guitar yesterday. Let me tell you a quick story. I always wanted to play guitar. I play harmonica, but I always wanted to play guitar. So I said, my birthday, let me go buy myself a guitar. So I go into the Guitar Center, and this guy's showing me guitars from $4,000 to $14,000. I'm like, whoa, buddy. He goes, so who do you like? I go, well, one of my favorite guitarists. I mean, aside from Eric Clapton, who I'm going to give a shout out, Slow Hand. He's 81 today. Eric Clapton's from the Yardbirds. He was named Slow Hand because he was so fast. He's a tremendous guitarist. But Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr., I love his sound. So I told him, he's got his own Fender guitar. You could buy that. That's like that's $1,000. Buy $2,000, $4,000, $14,000. I say, whoa. I said, I'm a beginner. I'm like an old dude. I don't even know if I'm going to like playing guitar. I said, isn't there something for a couple hundred? Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to buy a guitar for. So I said, I'll be back. I leave. I call my buddy from New Jersey, give a shout out to Sam Garino. He's an awesome guitar player. I said, Sam, what am I doing? He's like, no. He goes, don't buy an electric guitar. Buy an acoustic guitar. Then you'll graduate to an electric. But hey, thanks for that advice. But no, Eric Clapton's birthday's today. Tremendous, top 10 guitarist of all time. I put him up there. Prince is another one who I love. But hey, there's some great guitarists. Led Zeppelin, there's some great artists. How about this? Tracy Chapman, their birthday's today. Fast Car, when that came out in 1988, I was living in Philadelphia, man. She changed music forever when she came out with that album. But that song in particular, she's 62 today, 1 year younger than me. How about this? Warren Beatty, Heaven Can Wait. Oh, I love that movie with Warren Beatty. He's 89 today. And finally, the queen of the power ballads, Celine Dion. Give a shout out to her. She's 58 today. She's sold over 200 million records. So, hey, happy birthday to those four. They deserve it. Go celebrate. Eric Clapton, who knows, maybe you're buying another guitar. He's probably buying a $14,000 one, or he's making his own. But anyway, guys, let's go with the 3 Tola takeaways because they're important along with gratitude, right? Number 1, you got to respect the ABCs every single day, regardless of what day it is. You got to do it. Focus on it. Make it happen regardless. Number 2, this is important, I believe. You got to pick up the phone. Those who called me yesterday, thank you. Pick up the phone. Share your goodwill. Don't just text. It's a little bit different when you're doing it in person or over the phone. It feels much more powerful. And finally, always be willing to accept another person's opinion. That's crucial. Got to be open-minded. We're all different. We see the world from a different perspective. So just because someone else has a different opinion, they're not wrong. All right, guys, be grateful today. Take that 10 seconds. Make it happen. It'll change your day. It'll change your life. Have an awesome day. And as always, get your workout in. Peace.